this might be controversial now, but I don't see myself as Lego investor anymore. I'm just more as a Lego reseller. I think investing is going to become a lot harder. So many people are into it. The prices are not going up anymore as they are. Lego keeps just churning out Lego sets like left, right, and center.
Yeah,
keep bringing out the same thing over and over again. So it's much more of a risk to hold on to certain sets for a lot longer. And it's just like there's always a ceiling to something. And then if you think about Lego seem to go with different sizes of sets of the same set now. So that creates like an artificial ceiling for a certain set to go up to if they create a new version of it slightly bigger. So why would you actually spend more on the smaller set when the bigger set is that price as well, right? So Lego investing is still going to be there, but you really need to be switched on now and do your research. It's not like anymore where you just buy like, I'm going to buy a Star Wars set and put
£200 and it's worth.
It just doesn't work like that anymore. And I think a lot of people are going to get caught out. Also, I think a lot of people are going to get caught out because they think it's easy to do, and it's not easy. It's easy buying. Selling is not that easy anymore. I also think there's probably a lot of people who don't do things properly from a tax perspective.
I can understand that.
And I think there's probably going to be quite a few people who are going to get caught out by that as well. The fact, especially online, everything now gets tracked, and I think it's it's only fair that they get, everything catches up with them as well.
Yeah, because the days of buying a set for I bought a set for £275, a set for £800. Those days are almost going.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Lego hates the resale market.
They do.
And I've got a couple of people I know that works with Brick Fanatics and Brick Set, and they don't like resellers.
But interestingly, when I went to the last time I came here just after the Watford show. I met someone there who has been following me on Discord and everything. It was on my Discord servers. I'm not going to name him, but he came to me and he gave me a Lego implement. He was like, "Yeah, I haven't told you, but I work for Lego." and he's like, "Love your stuff." He's like, "I'm buying stuff as well to like invest." So actually, Lego people who work for Lego, obviously they get their discount, but they can't sell it until they actually leave Lego. So they're just building their nest.
For Lego a couple of years. Use that discount. Get a load of really nice sets.
They have a limit of how much they can buy every year.
But a year. But like, say you spend all of that. Say you spend as much as you can a year, and then you save it all up, and you've got a big collection like you. You could make good money from that.
So this is what gets annoyed me about these events, that a lot of people sell the same stuff. No one's patient anymore. You see my stuff. I've got stuff from 1999.
Oh no, but people are people are
70s.
But people are like desperate for money, right? As well, and there's a certain thing where people storage is at a premium now, so people can't store or don't have the space at home to store it for that. So they're looking at, but also people just want to lift and shift. A lot of them, you will see as soon as there's like a deal on like Very or something like. I remember last year there was these Captain America shields that were going for like 90 quid. The next week of the show, they're all there in mass. So literally, like you see it happening all the time.
It's like that Simba, that little mini Simba. It was 2 for 20 or something, or 2 for 15 on Argos, and then people were selling it for the original. And I'm thinking, I know people are hard. Or if you're going into the Lego investing. Live. And I always say this to everyone, so I don't know, they'll probably cut these in different videos. It might be good. So, but I say people that are investing have patience, right? It's not a quick buy and then sell. It's not finding gold. It has to be done properly. And I have, as you've seen, I've had some 1970 stuff I bought from 1990s, 99. I could sell them. Or I can sit there and mature on them. I've got sets that you've seen the sets. I've got newest sets that people will be flipping.
Yeah.
I've got the blacksmith shop. I've got stuff like that. And I've got Lamborghinis upstairs, 2 Lamborghinis. I bought them for 200 quid. But I know they're worth more than that now. Yeah. But why don't I wait until they retire and get
I think it all depends what people's ultimate end goal is. Some people might just want to just make some money later on and hold on to them like yourself and then just make some money in the future. But there's other people who might have aspirations to turn this into a full-time job, and therefore part of that I couldn't do myself if I wanted to do this full-time, which I do. I couldn't do it without just selling volume now. No. Because I couldn't sit on Lego sets forever because that's just capital that's tied up.
And we are in that sort of era that we need money. And people, and it's hard now to make money. You're not going to spend £20 more on a Lego set that you can get on Bricklink or eBay.
No.
So why are you going to spend?
I think there are some caveats. You always see as a seller, there's always people with their phones and checking, and love it. I love it when, especially for certain sets, because I know a lot of the times I use eBay as my benchmark. 95% of the time, I'm cheaper than eBay.
Because you don't put your prices up, you say?
Yeah, I don't put them up like necessarily. The only thing that I would say is like some sets I will be more than eBay, and the reason for that is because there are bigger sets, and you got the set there in front of you, and it's not going to be a scam. Because a lot of the times the things on eBay, like I've had bad experiences myself. You buy something and it's like you get pasta or whatever. I've not had that happen, but you see all these stories where people just the scamming risk is there as much higher. It's like here's like you got it there, you can see the quality of the box, and it's there. And actually now that I'm as a proper registered business, I've got like obviously you got receipt with it, and there's 14 days return. So it's like you don't get that on eBay unless you obviously complain through PayPal and everything. And they always choose to side with the buyers. I stopped selling on eBay, by the way.
So you don't sell on eBay, you only sell on Bricklink and at the Lego events.
And my own website,
And your own website. So everyone, if they're listening, Hillians Bricks website, Hillians Bricks, Bricklink, and Hillians Brick at the event. That's the three you need to. If it doesn't say that, it's not him. So, no, it's not. And to be honest, you'll know Hillian at the event. He's the only one that's got the most impressive point of sale ever.
Me.
No,
that computer system
the till system.
I've not seen anyone at these events that has a till system like yours.
No, and for me that's
just us.
It's the ease of it. Also, afterwards, it's not cheap. You have to pay a monthly fee for it, but it's
it's not bought and that's it. You have to pay monthly.
Yeah. But it's so much worth it. The time it saves from an accounting perspective.
So you can just scan like a proper
scan the barcode of the set,
and
it tells you.
Like the actual one that Lego prints on their box.
Yeah, because I've got that link to my website and everything automatically. That's the
it comes off your website.
Yeah, that's why it's quite costly, because it's linked for the subscription of the website is expensive. The actual subscription, if you don't have a website, is not that much.
Yeah, so like the event organisers have been like coming over.
Yeah, they come and look at it.
Everybody comes and has a look at it because they want it. But they're like, oh, but do I want to go through this course? Do I want to do?
Can you say which it is? What?
I use EPOS now.
EPOS now.
So yeah, you just got to be careful when you sign up for it. It's like making sure that you understand what you're signing up for. Because I had some issues where they said, "Oh, this is insurance," and like I didn't ask for that.
Right.
Just the detail I need to check. Have everything in writing. But the system is brilliant as long as you got an internet connection. We had one incident a couple of weeks ago. We were in Birmingham and we were underground.
Oh, yeah. We were like 3 flights of stairs.
And we could not connect to the local internet. It wouldn't work.
They gave us about 4 or 5 internets.
None of them worked.
Not even our own internet.
Because we usually have our own hotspot and that has no issues. So if as soon as they say the event is underground, we're like, that's not good. no good. But
from now on, we're going to ask if it's underground.
But you travel quite far for yours, don't you? You travel all over the country.
I'm going to Glasgow this year.
Wow.
So
Going.
So that's in April. I got.
And you're driving.
Yeah, so I'll take the Friday off, drive up to Glasgow. The show is on Saturday in Glasgow, and then the next day there's a show in Rotherham.
Why? Just because you've never been there? Would you like?
They do have a Lego store. I've just never been. They've not had any shows really in Scotland. I know these organisers, they're doing their first ever show next week in Aberdeen, and they said the tickets have been just flying out. So it'd be interesting to see a new market really, as people like. What are they going to think over there about the old shows?
If it's really good, maybe I'll come because then I'll get money.
But yeah, and it's just a different market that I've never been into because I think Brick Festival, I've never been there in Scotland. So it's National Brick Events are doing it for the first time. So I thought, well, why not? First time for everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to go and obviously see the Lego shops or do something else up there, or
I probably won't have the time because literally I'll go up the Friday. Probably I often help out the organisers there, just set up the tables. Depends what time I arrive. Then the Saturday we have the show. Then straight away pack up and then drive 4 hours down south to Rotherham because the next day I've got so I've got a show there the next day, which is good because it's halfway. Doesn't mean like because I have to hire the van. I have to hire a van, so it's the same cost for the weekend.
But at least we know what you want for Christmas: your own van.
That's probably the next step.
You've been talking about it a lot recently.
Yeah, it's coming to the point where it's going to be the next cost. No, it's probably the next thing. Yeah, the next step.
Next step is to get your own.
We'll see. That's another more step to becoming again.
But that makes you more independent
full-time
as well. If you're doing 40 a year, you literally would be constantly renting one out, wouldn't you? Really. So I can understand that. But no, that's nice to know. It'd be at his warehouse. So you don't sell minifigures?
Not at the moment.
Not at least. Were you? Are you going
I was doing some on Whatnot. Problem is like sourcing the minifigures. Again,
it's hard to source minifigures.
Yeah, but also the minifigures. I think there's a lot of more fakes coming in the market nowadays. So you have to be, where you're getting them from. I'm not an expert on them, and I stick to what I know. I know there's great money to be made in minifigures. Don't get me wrong. If I have the time and if we were to go full time, minifigures would be very much part of the equation. It's just at the moment you can only
the markup on them is for you probably brilliant.
You can only focus on so many things, and I know when I go to these events, there's already lots of minifig sellers. So it's like you just gotta know your niche and know what you stick to.
Because you do poly bags much as well.
I do poly bags, yeah. So
there's this kid a year older than me.
He knows him.
You know Misha. Yeah. He does a lot of minifigures.
He was at my event selling minifigures, yes. I know this stuff.
You get on well with Misha, don't you?
Yeah, because he's double my height. But
he's only a year older than you.
A year older, yeah. See what he does? Yeah, he did his own event in Brighton, didn't he?
Yeah, we were there.
Yes.
I was there for the
first day
because I was football.
So was Ian. Was with you. Because you know Ian. Everyone he knows Ian. So yes.
Ian's gonna be.
Ian's going to be, yes, he's going to be there. So he doesn't sell minifigures. You don't sell many. You want to start minifigures at some point.
I wouldn't say I want to. It's like I've done it and I know what's within it. My biggest issue with minifigures was when I had this display cabinet. I still got them with like lights and everything in there for the shows. Transporting minifigs, and every single time they always have to put them up. So if I think about my setup, having to put all this. You don't always come to it, so when he comes, it's a great help. But when I have got to account for it when I'm on my own, setting up everything, and then the minifigs, often we run out of time.
And I've got to say, I've sold minifigures at my events. They are the most time-consuming, not just put up when people are shopping. The kids they're looking, and people were looking, and one person could be there for 20 minutes. Waiting and the kid might I want that one, and you have to wait 20 minutes for the next one, and you got someone that hang on, I'll be back with you in a minute.
And again, I got to think about how I work with my system of my POS that we mentioned earlier. Everything I do is pretty much on barcodes. So it's again, how do I program that? It's like because the biggest issue I had and why I went to a POS system is before we used the app from my website WooCommerce. I use WooCommerce.
Yeah.
And polybags, I have multi-buy deals on them, but every single time I had to scan every single barcode to sync to my website.
Yeah.
But it needed a good connection to pick it up, so it was very slow every single time to multiple bags, and then I had to manually add in the discount. Whereas when I do it with my system, just scan beep beep beep, it scans 4 different polybags, whatever, it automatically knows the discount. It's so much quicker.
Discount? Do you have like frequent people that
shop?
So
it's like I do it if you buy one, it's £5 for a poly bag. It's 2 for $9, 3 for $12.
Basically, what we used to.
You should have like a loyalty card.
Maybe in the future.
I've been to all 40 events of yours, and Hick and I have it. Like they stamp it with the coffee stamps.
Yeah, what we used to do, it was so slow. Like we still had it like the barcode thing, but like we scanned it
on our phone.
Then it took like 30-40 seconds to load. We scanned another one. Took 30-40 seconds to load. Scanned another one. 30-40 seconds to load. Say this is polybags. Then we had to scroll down, manually choose which discount it is. That would take another 30-40 seconds. Then it'd take like another 2 minutes for the payment to go through.
So it's very slow.
About 5 minutes.
So when you have people like queuing, it's like it's just the customer service level wasn't great, and then you didn't have a receipt. Whereas now, literally, like scan, beep beep beep, scan it. You want a bag? Yes. Here's a bag. Here's the receipt in the bag. Off you go.
So would you do now? Because you mostly do. You've got 40 events coming up. Are they mostly the big boys?
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't do any like independent ones.
We do one. It's that's the only one we know. It's a scout show locally, and
it's a good show.
Yeah, they don't ask again. We don't pay for the table, which is very nice.
They're very small.
They ask for a donation for a set for the raffle, which we always do.
We always do.
As well.
We gave them some good sets as well because you got to support the. No, it wasn't Wonder Woman. You got
did once.
That was the first year we did,
Yeah.
but I think we gave a nice Lego City. They actually gave that away as the second best prize. So when we saying
It was
so,
one of those stunt ones, like Stunt City.
we only do the one we do is the Reigate Scout show that we do in Red Hill. And again, but they're very flexible. Like, you want more tables here because they have little tables. We're like, oh, you want more table? Here's another table. It almost feels bad, like you're taking the piss. Like, oh, can I have another table? You're like scared to ask, But they're so accommodating, and you see the same mock builders are there as well.
Mock he's good.
He's good.
He's got very nice mock. Like he's got like this whole subway system, and then like a tram with like a row of modulars and stuff. It's good.
It's nice to have good builders and stuff that goes to.
But it's not just a Lego show. That it's like rail and model. So there's like other like model trains as well.
There's stuff there as well. You know Hornby?
Yeah.
They've got that there.
But then
a layout.
But there's only like 2 traders at these shows, so it's great.
And
so
one of them like does like this wood carving, Lego wood carving kind of thing.
So yeah,
it sounds like a good event.
It's good, and like the turnout was really good this year. So again, I think it's something that's building year on year because it's a good reputation.
Double weekend, didn't we, this year?
Yeah, so it's a no brainer. It's like, yes, you don't make as much as some of the big shows necessarily, but then it's like you have no cost in you supporting the local community.
Yeah,
so for me,
the thing is, you have got
I'm just there doing nothing. Whereas in one of these big boy shows, I'm got something to do.
You always go to talk to the people.
Yeah.
Well,
so you talk about your YouTube channel. You don't do much with it as much. Because having 5,608, whatever, 568, you don't promote. I know. I like sometimes. I don't think Ian has done this time. Actually, he normally tells you that he shows him getting ready for the next event or coming up events.
Yeah, I don't do that much anymore
because people might want to know when you're at the next event. You could.
I record that.
Yeah, I just find it like so repetitive, and I just. Emile's now more talking about the shows. He's got more time for YouTube. I think it's more about when I feel like something important is happening or a major update in terms of what I'm doing. Because people know I go to shows. I've got a Discord. When people are on my Discord, everybody can join it for free. We have a special section just there for events, and a lot of the traders are on my Discord, and they all chat on there. Like even at the events I don't go to, I know how the events are because people say, "Oh, this was a good one. This was a bad one." Or it was a strange one, or whatever it is. Everybody knows, but then I put on there when I'm going to be on there. So
people
are on there.
People moaning about the second London one that we didn't go to.
Yeah, there's all sorts of events where people like oh, good, didn't go to that one, and you see people like there's one last year where like stuck in the snow and stuff like that. So it's like you're like, oh.
There's this, there's always, everyone's gonna, there's like with me, I don't like certain events and people love them. And I'm like, okay, it depends how you're growing up, what you expect, and what you like. So everyone will have a problem with every event. You know what I mean? They have a problem with my event, they have a problem with Brick Fest event, National Brick events, and then people will love all them. You know, and so people will love my events. You can't, obviously, everyone.
It depends what people are there for. Some people are there just to look at all cool displays. Some people are just there, they want to buy something, so they just want to just go for a specific set, or some of them just want to have a lot of choice to look at and just having like a day out, whatever it may be.
So what's your hot stuff if you're selling at your event? What's your hot?
I sell a lot of Lego City.
Do you?
Minecraft because
is it because
the price point is cheap?
Is it? Yeah, I would say it's because the price point.
Botanicals,
or is it because not everyone else is selling what you're selling? Is it?
Price point, and there's a few people that might sell the same thing, but I sell below Lego RRP on those.
So we say with your sets, let's say if you're selling retired sets, okay, because you've got RRP.
I've got less and less retired, but I've got retired.
So let's just we'll say RRP recommended retail price. So if you're selling stuff that's retired, obviously that we know that doesn't count now. How do you get your pricing? Do you get your pricing from Bricklink or do you use eBay?
I look at eBay, kind of like sold. Check with Bricklink as well. Kind of like mix and match, just to kind of see what's the average going rate.
Because I know you're a Bricklink person, so I didn't know if you use Bricklink
I just have a look for it because I know most people look at eBay. I'm surprised that so many people are not familiar with Bricklink, which is a shame. But more and more people are getting to know Bricklink.
The problem with Bricklink, when I have a shop at my own event, people do look at Bricklink and say, "Oh, it was £6 on this," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably from Germany."
Yeah.
And you've still got to pay to get it imported. And you still got to pay anything, and sometimes they won't post you because some people don't always post to UK. So when they go, "Oh, it's only," but that you have to look at the next British or English seller.
Yeah, no, especially you got to look at the British one, especially with import duties now and everything like that as well. As soon as £135 or more.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's
because since the EU came out, the EU, a lot of them didn't post. It went, we do not post from here. I'm like, oh, now I can't buy it. So actually, the fact the only people I buy from is from UK sellers.
Yeah, for my minions, you've like
I did UK only.
Specifically filtered it for only UK, and like I said when I got the thing I was talking about earlier, I got them all from Germany. You know, like my business. I got them all from Germany because they were cheap. It's like one of the biggest stores in Germany.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's stuff that you can get cheap still from Europe, but again, depends how much you're willing to pay in the VAT. It's the same thing now that I'm VAT registered soon. I'm going through the process. It's going to be interesting to see if that's going to take an uplift in my orders from abroad.
Yeah.
Because my pricing is going to stay the same in the UK because I'll have that included in my pricing. But obviously, people who see it outside of the UK, suddenly that VAT will come off.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, oh, this has only become cheaper to order from this guy, but then they'll have to pay VAT on import into the country.
True.
Whereas now they pay the VAT to me. Well, they pay the price, which wasn't VAT because I wasn't registered for VAT. But then they also have to pay the import duty on top of that. Now, their price that they're going to see in Europe is going to be much cheaper compared to the local stores as well. But that's why the same thing you see if you buy from Germany or whatever, you'll see the prices are cheaper here. But then you have to consider paying the 20% VAT and everything when you order more than £135 and the shipping.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's interesting, but to go back to the question, I tend to use eBay as a kind of like a benchmark. I'm not always cheaper than eBay. A lot of the times I am, but again, it depends from what set to set.
More, the bigger the set, I know most people with the bigger sets, you end up paying a little bit more than eBay. The smaller sets, people tend to keep close.
It's also going to be depending on what sort of set and theme. Like if I know it's going to be a popular theme that, like this thing is like more likely to sell, I might put like a $5 on it. If something that I know that it's not going to sell that easily, let's knock a bit off here.
Yeah.
Like I've got a big Ninjago set I bought recently, like that might struggle to sell. Like a land bounty I think I've got. I was like, well, it's going everywhere online for like $265, whatever. I'm like,
so where do you buy your Lego? You want to say where would you buy it? Like, well, how does Ian? He buys it from
various retailers,
Ferry and Argos.
You use all the cashback discount. I think now Lego. If you go back to the question about Lego investing, it's all about your buying. It's not about you selling. It's all about buying at the right price, buying using the multiple discounts you can get wherever you do. And that's understanding the price of a set. What's the lowest price it has been at? Is it likely going to go lower? Because if you know, like, if you can kind of keep track of what the prices have been, and then suddenly you see like a deal, like obviously you might be familiar with the website Hot UK Deals. It's just so saturated with people posting on there now with deals that are no longer deals because they all want to get those vouchers they can get for posting on there. It's just kind of like no longer relevant.
Well, I mean, I'm very vocal. I've said on my videos, and it annoys me if people can't sell Lego. Everyone has to make profit, and everyone, if you're buying a set for £100, say it was sales on eBay for £100, you're saying 150, 120. Okay, that's not too bad. You spec it for those places, but when you're putting £80 on top of it. If you can't get a set that cheap, don't buy it to sell it on, in my head, because it's pointless. If I'm going to go straight into Smith's or straight into Lego shop and I'm going to buy a £200 Lego set and I'm going to go down to a next event and sell it for £250, £260, you can't. People aren't going to buy it. You're going to be stuck with it for ages. And if you are, you're ripping people off. If I find it a £200 set for £150, £170, I might be able to sell it for £220. Do you know what I mean? And I feel that a lot of people just, I keep saying to them, if you can't find it cheap enough, maybe don't buy it.
Yeah, and I'm getting to the point now